Let's get right into it. The big news today. Rob cleaned up his beard. That seems to be the big news today. He did. I noticed that.
Actually, no, it's just kind of coming in, so it's kind of shaping up a little bit. So you can mold it up. It's like
Anyway,
kind of just trims it up,
the actual big news in the day.
You see that too?
The Vikings signed Daniel Jones, and yes, he wore that hat at the press conference. Maybe it's the rumor I heard. Just saying. But yeah, Jordan Schultz first reported that he was going to be going to the Vikings. He said he picked them due to the team's playoff positioning and their QB-friendly scheme. Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network said he will be going on to their practice squad. So, guys, a couple interesting things the way this broke down here. One thing I thought was very interesting is apparently the Raiders are very interested. He said no. For those who may not be aware of everything going on around the NFL, Gardner Minshew broke his collarbone, I believe it was, during the last week's game. So, yeah, they're down to Aiden McConnell, who he himself is barely able to walk around at this point. So, yeah, they're in quarterback trouble, guys. Not that we're in any room to talk right now, but they are also in quarterback hell basically right now. So they thought, why not bring Daniel Jones in? He wanted nothing to do with them, which is kind of interesting because a part of me says that's smart, and a part of me says that's stupid.
Yes. So, I mean, there's a bunch of rumors where he could go on today. Like, I saw rumor has it. I mean, shit. Excuse my language, YouTube. But like,
potty mouth.
But like, there was talks. Does he go across to Delaware? Does he join Barkley? But I assume that man, and a lot of people thought he had more class, and that rumor got knocked down. But San Francisco was a big one that he was walking around as well. It's like, you want to talk about a team that possibly needs a backup going into the playoffs. The Vikings right now, where they sit at the 5th seed in the NFC.
They're going to
be maybe the 7th seed, but they're definitely still a playoff potential. Playoffs will start today.
Now you get me looking it up. I wasn't planning on looking this up.
But that's a strong point.
Yeah, they're in easily right now. They're the first wild card.
Yeah, so 5th seed.
Well, only because of the fact that they're having issues with the fact that the number 1 seed is ahead of them in the NFC North.
Well, yeah,
only tied for the second best record with the Eagles in the NFC.
Yeah, well, like I said,
the BS of the playoff the way it goes. It should go based on best record. Screw it, division titles. We've had guys like 500 or barely under 500 to get into the playoffs. Get a
look at you.
That's BS. Sorry, that is utter BS.
Yeah, look at you, Seahawks of Hasselback years.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
We're gonna get the ball first. We're gonna score anyway. That Hasselback seemed really stupid for that. But like I said, I feel like it's not a bad place for me to go to the Vikings for the reasons he said on there, for what Jordan Schultz said. Good playoff team. You got a lot of talent around him where if God forbid, they lose another quarterback and Sam Darnold goes down, they go, let's go ahead and put Jones in. He's got Jordan Adams in. He's got Justin Jefferson. He's got Aaron Jones. He's got a decent offensive line.
But take that away. I mean, who was the starter quarterback last year?
Kirk Cousins. Well, no, it was a whole bunch last year. Kirk Cousins, then 10 other people.
Yeah.
But they also had Justin Jefferson last year. They also had T.J. Hawkinson. The tight end was on like one leg for half the year.
Well, that's towards the end of the year, but not the first half, because they were talking about Dobbs, how great he was. Joshua Dobbs.
Well, that was when he was Arizona. That was more when he was at Arizona. People were talking.
Yeah, but they picked him up from Minnesota because he went 4-1 with them.
No. He went to Arizona, then went to Minnesota.
That's right. You're right. But yeah, he still went over there and did well.
They traded for at the trade deadline because he started off good with the Cardinals, and he was cheap.
Yeah,
but like I said, it's not a bad scenario for him. Again, good offensive coach as well, but part of me wonders if he should have taken Vegas. And the reason I'm saying is because it's like he went the safe pick, but the adventurous pick would have been go with a really crappy team that he's a quarterback right now. We would have started immediately. with a chance to be a reclamation project immediately. But he would have had nobody around him. He would have just thrown into the wolves, which is not a very high percentage of success, obviously. So that's the other part about it. He went to a place where he can develop there and see what happens. And Deb says his contract's only for this year. Correct. Yes. And again, it's not even a active roster spot. It's a practice squad spot. So
yeah.
they said they don't anticipate putting him to the active 53-man roster anytime soon.
Unless something happens.
Oh, exactly. Things happen.
Well, like when you talk about Vegas too, yes, he would start immediately, but he would have no one around him. It would be starting all over again for a different Giants team.
Might as well stay with the Giants then. He already had that.
Yeah. Yeah. The only difference is he would be the starter and not, playing safety.
Exactly. So, like I said, interesting move, I think, overall. But he took the safe pick, which probably for his long-term career is probably best. Give him a chance to work with the staff over there, see if they can fix some of the issues, see if they can turn him into something that, if God forbid Sam Darnold goes down, they can surround this guy with so much talent it's not even funny on that team, and he has as good a chance he's ever going to have in his career to prove he can do it. If that doesn't happen and he just stays in the practice squad, well, guess what? Maybe next year he's the backup at that point to J.J. McCarthy. Maybe J.J.'s not ready to go start of the season. He starts a game or two, rebuilds his, street cred, so to speak, there.
Sam Darnold gets hurt in a playoff game, and then Daniel Jones comes in, busts the lead, causes them to lose, and makes the Minnesota Vikings 0-2 in the playoffs.
Well, you never know. Now, how weird is it though? He went to the Vikings, the team he beat in the playoffs, the team he started his run where he had the last couple of games there, of looking really good in that 22 season as well. There's a sense of irony. He goes and ends up with the Vikings.
Imagine it's the coach staff. Listen, DJ, your record is trash as a starting quarterback. You kicked the crap out of us. What did you see? What did you see? Teach us.
I doubt it's that. I don't think anybody in the league's like Daniel Jones knows how to beat teams. But I mean, like I said, it's not a bad spot for him though. In reality, it's the smart spot for him to go to, I think. So
yeah.
Honestly, we wish him all the best. No, this is no hate on him whatsoever. Nothing would shock me with him because let's be honest, the Giants staff has not been the best at developing players for much of his time there, if not all of his time there. So who knows what's going to happen? I don't see him being a good quarterback ever in this league, but stranger things have happened.
Listen, he can be a serviceable quarterback. I joke around and I said, like, hey, listen, he was trash. But like, listen, I talked very highly of that man for a very long time.
Yeah, you did.
This year he had to go. Like the first episode we talked about how we're going to get there. Man, was I wrong. But I talked about DJ stepping up well. But yeah, I mean, I had two of my three picks, I guess, were pretty bad. Yeah, him and Tony. But that's besides the point. DJ did step it up for us that season, but that's besides the point.
That one season.
But
wouldn't
it surprise me? He goes to the Vikings. He stays as a backup. He develops. He goes to another team like Arizona for a year or two, and then he goes to maybe at that point Vegas. Who knows? Stays individual, gets a starting job, and does kind of what Geno Smith has done with his career, but just not to his degree. He becomes a serviceable quarterback in the league, not the best quarterback. Geno Smith is becoming, I guess your top 10 in the past couple of years, which is pretty impressive for his story. But if DJ comes around and he's Mr. Average, if he's Kirk Cousins, he's done it right. Like he could have a Kirk Cousins type of career. Wouldn't surprise me.
Someone's gonna give him a second contract. Oh God. Here's the weird thing about Daniel Jones, though. We've talked about the things he doesn't do well, the things he does do well. Like he doesn't play quarterback well, but he does the studying part right, the leadership part right, the showing up to work part right. That the stuff that some guys just don't do. Is it just me? Am I crazy to say this? That he makes actually the perfect bridge quarterback. You bring him in, you teach the kids some of the stuff that is how to be a pro, Like, yes, on the field he's not good, but off the field, everything else he's very good at, and he can teach someone how to be a pro. And then on top of that, if let's say you don't want to throw the kid to the wolves, you have Daniel Jones who has starting experience that you can pop him in for a little bit if you need to.
Which then down the road, when he goes, "Hey, I want to be a QB coach somewhere," and they're like, "Why will we argue you're trash on the field?" No disrespect. It's
he's got $100 million. He's not going to coach anywhere.
That's what you say, but people do it all the time.
Yeah, yacht somewhere in the islands.
People do it all the time. That's what competitors like him do.
Depends
so he can turn around and be like, "Hey, listen, I sat behind this team, but I helped develop this quarterback. I helped develop that quarterback. I helped develop that quarterback." And then that team goes, "Oh, you know what? Do that for my quarterback, but just don't go down the field. Just teach him what you did."
Yeah, I mean, as I'm saying, like, I think he's going to have a role in that. I really do. And like I said, it's the perfect spot for him. So, obviously, I anticipate us hopefully getting Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. Whoever the other team is that gets him, sign Jones. He's really not a bad option. I never thought I'd be encouraging a team to sign Daniel Jones, but he's not a bad option as a bridge quarterback. That's actually probably a perfect role for him, and it gives him a chance to actually get on the field potentially and rebuild his credential, rebuild his
brand,
his reputation in the NFL as a possibly serviceable quarterback in this league. I'll never say good. He's never going to be a good quarterback. Possibly serviceable.
Never say never, Drew.
Never say never.
Improbable.
Is that the second episode in a row we've had a American Tail reference? It is. You probably didn't mean this one, but whenever I hear never say never, I think of that pigeon from American Tail singing in the Statue of Liberty.
I think of my sophomore year biology teacher. Never say never. Improbable.
There you go. Inconceivable. Anyway.
I don't think you know what that word means.
If you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please subscribe.